Hey, y'all, and welcome to an all new episode of All Tea, All Shade with the King of Shade. Tonight, I have some special guests joining me. Um, Tonight, so we're gonna recap the two episodes, one from Atlanta, from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 4, and then we're gonna recap Beverly Hills, two of those episodes, 2 and 3. So we're gonna break those episodes down and talk about these shows. Joining me tonight is my friend Lacey. She's joining me tonight, and my girl Tommy, aka Bravo Titty Mama. She's joining me tonight to talk about these shows. Welcome, you guys.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me. I am ready to talk about these shows.
Yeah, so we're gonna start with Atlanta, the realest housewives of Atlanta. We're gonna talk about this most recent episode when they went to New York, honey. Woo child, what an episode. First of all, what so far we only been 4 episodes in, what are how are you feeling about the season so far? We 4 episodes in. How y'all feeling about this new season?
Okay, so I'll start. I'm feeling good about it. I'm enjoying the non-presence of Portia. I am enjoying that everyone is just getting along for the most part. I guess they're really not, but I'm enjoying all the new cast members and I'm enjoying Marlo with her peach. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Okay, what about you, Lacey?
Yes, I'm really enjoying this season too. I forgot about Portia and definitely forgot about Cynthia. No shade or anything, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it and yeah, like I feel like the arguments that they have, they're really petty and they just kind of keep it going and they don't like harp on it. So I'm really enjoying it. I think it's really fun.
Well, I agree. I'm actually enjoying the season so far. I think it's a breath of fresh air because we don't have Portia anymore, so we don't have that presence, and then we don't have Cynthia anymore. So I think this season so far is fresh. I feel like it's kind of giving us season one with the organic relationships and the organic drama. It's not forced. It's not it's what we're seeing is like it's naturally happening. So I like that. I think it's so far so good. I'm enjoying the progression of the season as a whole so far. But yeah, so in episode 4 they got ready. They're planning to go to New York because Candy has a play that she has produced and did called what was it called? Was it
I thought it was called like For Colored Men or something.
something like that?
Like a
I guess.
story of a colored man or something like that. I don't
It was,
something.
it was something like that. But yeah, they're going to go. They're planning to go support her. But the beginning of the episode, I think was when they went to when Marlo, Sheree, and Kenya got together at Marlo's. Um, her building her dream home because now she's doing the home thing. I guess she's gonna follow suit to Kenya and Sheree and build her home up from the ground up. That's gonna be her main focus this season. What do y'all think about that whole thing?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm excited for her to have her own house. Like she has been hiding coins, and now she's just like, I'm gonna build my house on this TV screen for you guys to see, and it's gonna be done quick, and it's not gonna be in a hole. Like I am here for it. I'm super excited for Marla, and I
Not
liked all the shade and everything.
not hiding coins, so she not hiding.
I'm just saying she was hiding some coins until the show aired. She was like, okay, because it's like obviously like the way she moved. I'm just like, help me. Like, how are you making this money last? Like, it is long. It's she's
Child.
talented. Come on, you know it's true.
I mean, we know how she's making this money last, honey. She doing some things. Um,
Uh-uh.
Not perfectly. Do you
yes.
think? But yeah, I'm excited about it. I love it. I think it's really funny that she has so much closet space and I love that. I mean, I don't blame her. If I could, I would have like a closet space that looked like a storefront, like a designer store. Why not?
So you will have your own late archive.
Yes. Uh-huh.
thrift store clothes. Oh, okay.
Oh, not the thrift store clothes. I
Yeah.
like the idea of it though. I don't have that many clothes, so mine would be looking
Yeah.
more more bare.
But if I had what she has, I would want that.
It was a nice little thing, her seeing her, build her home, it's nice, but I feel like she's like copycatting. Like Sheree did it, Kenya did it, so now I'm gonna do it. It's like, okay, but you're redoing something that's already been done, so we over the home thing. They all been home. It's like I get she wants to make her home, wants to build a home from the ground up for for her and I guess for her nephews to have an actual home in Atlanta, and but I'm like, okay, we done the home things. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you can contribute that you can do besides copy what's already been done multiple times on the show? Um,
What?
but yes, because Sheree built a
No.
home. Sheree built a home. Took her 5 years to do it. Kenya built a home. It took her about
Asper's a hater.
six
Hate,
to 8 months to do
hate,
it. So I'm
hate.
like, it's been done. But in that same
Man.
scene, Sheree and the girls talk about Sheree and Drew and their drawing with the assistant. And and Sheree kind of gives her take on everything that happened at the baby shower. I mean, at the baby shower, at the party, child, at Brooklyn's party. So, what were y'all thoughts on that whole thing with Drew and Sheree at Brooklyn's party? Because it kind of got heated, and
Well, if I had to say anything, I thought Drew was she went automatically on the defense, and it was just like it's like she didn't even hear what this woman said, and I think she did hear what she said. I think she tried to play it off like, oh, well, all I heard was my husband, and started going off like, no, that wasn't the case. Like you just started going off on her, and she was just trying to tell you what this assistant has been saying behind your back, and it didn't seem like she was mad at the assistant at all. And I mean, and once we move on to the other episode, you see like it wasn't even she wasn't the one that even let him go. It was Ralph. So and then she started putting her hand all in Sheree's face, and I was just like, "What are you doing? Like, what's going on?" Like, it was giving desperate, and she was just upset. I'm like, "This is a child's birthday party." I did appreciate the white lady talking about she wanted to get messed up, and then all of a sudden she was like, "This is a children's party." It's like, wait, but you came to get messed up, and you were going to be driving home, so. I'm confused, but I did like the other lady sitting there with her little girl, and she was all about the tea. And Marla was like, "Oh," she was just like, "You okay? You good? You good?" I loved that. I mean, I loved the whole thing. It was a shady thing to do, kind of like the shady cure, whatever. But I just thought it was I don't think she should have done that, Kenya. I thought that was just like a recipe for disaster anyway. Just putting stuff in a hat and having people just go anonymously saying things. So I thought it was a little reckless to do at her daughter's birthday party, and then she tried to calm it down. But I was like, "But you're the one who lit the match." So I mean, that's how I felt though.
Lacey, what were your thoughts on the Sheree and Drew thing at Brooklyn's party?
Um, yeah, I feel like um it was weird that the one woman that I don't know who she is like said it. Um, but yeah, I do agree with Tommy that Drew did come off kind of like defensive like at first and like didn't really um I don't know if she maybe comprehended it 100% and like took in that. I mean, I do believe that it is this assistant that is saying this stuff. So she should be mad at the assistant and really not mad at other people. But I don't believe that it should have been said at that party in that way. Do you know what I mean?
Uh, I know what you mean because see, for me, I feel like um Drew, what saw red, and I mean, and I get her seeing red because what was said was about her man. So she immediately like got angry. Like she probably heard what the woman said, but what the woman said, she went red about like you're attacking his sexuality. And one like this woman, Fatum Alford, who I told y'all was going to be on the show. She was gonna be a part of the show. She was gonna be the one that kind of throws out this slanderous lie about Ralph. It was random. Like I don't understand why she inserted herself because no one was talking to her. And Sheree's a big girl, so Sheree didn't need you coming in, as her backup to come for Drew because Sheree can handle herself. Like it was random and weird because it was out of nowhere. Like Drew wasn't even arguing with this woman. The woman just
Because that's what I didn't understand. I was really
random.
confused.
And then Sheree, was upset about their shared assistant saying that she don't pay people. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all feel like Sheree has a valid reason to be upset, or do y'all think that Sheree should have not been as upset because she's known not to pay people? Like it's the thing.
I mean, I would be upset, especially like maybe she's gotten better at paying her bills, and she like doesn't want that rumor like still going around, So I think I would be upset. I mean, she has like every right to be upset or her feelings to be hurt or to be, whatever. But I I do think that they're both kind of misdirecting their like anger at each other instead of the assistant who's saying this stuff. And he's interesting.
What do you think, Tommy?
I thought Sheree was fine. I mean, Sheree wasn't the one who brought up the slanderous remarks for Drew's husband. The friend, is the one who spoke up and said something, and it wasn't even Sheree. Like Sheree was the one telling her, like, hold on, no, 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 no. Like she didn't even want her to tell her. So it's like, I don't know why like Sheree was like getting a bad, like people are feeling bad about her, but I think that she was pretty chill for the most part, and she handled herself well, especially when, like I said before, Drew putting her hands in her face. Like that was uncalled for. So I think she was fine. And I think Sheree
Really?
knew, I do. I mean, unless I
Sheree
missed
was going off
something.
telling. She was going off and telling Judah, can you shut up? Can you shut the f up so I
Yeah,
can talk? That was not fine. That's like you
exactly.
said.
She needed to. She needed to be
But
quiet
that's
because she wanted to try to tell her, like, this has nothing to do with what we're saying. We're trying to tell you that it's the man, the assistant, that is doing this to you. It is not me. Like, this was the point that she was trying to make. And Drew just kept trying to overspeak her. So
but she
that's what I'm saying.
but Sheree was the one, in my opinion, was the one was not trying to hear Drew because all Drew was saying was trying to tell Sheree that this man who works as your assistant as well as my assistant is going around telling people that you don't pay people, that you didn't pay his friend $25,000 as a friend. She wanted Sheree to know these things. She went to Candy. We're gonna get to that. She told Candy because Candy and her shared this mutual friend. Hey Candy, I know something that was told to me, and I want to talk to Sheree about it. How should I handle this? What's your opinion on it? What's your opinion on it? And Candy was the one that decided to go tell Marlo and Kenya, make it gossip. So shouldn't Sheree be mad at Candy and not Drew because Drew didn't make it gossip? Drew told ask confided in Candy.
No, I don't
Well,
think so.
Ray
She should
might
have
not
went
know.
straight to her. Sorry, Lacey. I was just saying she should have went straight. As soon as she told Candy and whatever Candy told her, that's when she should have went and called Sheree. Like,
Yeah,
look, like I told Candy this is what
smart.
happened, and this is why, and this is what's going on, and that's how it should have been handled. But she never heard it. Yes, Candy carried that bone throughout the group and never brought it to Sheree. So she does have like a bone to pick with her. But at the end of the day, like, don't try to say you were trying to be my friend and try to tell me this because you didn't tell me this. Mm-mm.
But the thing is, I agree. That she probably should have went to Sheree immediately, but her and Sheree not friends, so she went to Candy to figure out, okay, what way is the best way to approach Sheree because me and Sheree are not friends. She's your friend, and if something's been said about her by our shared assistant because they share this Anthony with their shared assistant. How should I approach her? So I get that because her and Sheree didn't know each other. They were not friends. They don't have a relationship. So I mean, I could see why Drew went to Candy first. Candy shouldn't have made it gossip because she made it gossip, and it got around to the girls, and now and it pushed the rate in a place where she was very defensive, in my opinion, very defensive. She said, when it comes to my name or my finances or my kids, don't nobody need to speak on it. Like, well, girl, like you need to check Anthony. Don't come at Drew because Drew didn't start the rumor. She's letting the rumors out there that it exists, but she didn't start it and she didn't spread it. Candy did. In my opinion.
Well,
I,
she need to check her bank account because she has been having problems for years not paying people. So I mean, that's another thing she need to check
exactly.
on. So I mean, it ain't new tea. So I'm just kind of like, why wouldn't Drew just go tell her that. Like we've been knowing that Sheree hasn't been paying people. Like so, where there's smoke, there's fire, and I feel like everything's on fire when it comes to that. Like there's been so many things that Sheree has not paid. She's been asking people for money. Remember when Cynthia and her son was walking in her cargo line? She was like, "Oh, you're not gonna pay him? Like you don't give him a backpack? Like girl, you don't even be paying people."
Yeah, you remember when she hired Phaedra as her attorney, and then Phaedra gave her back her check because Sheree took forever paying her this money, her retainer, and then Sheree had to be met in like a parking lot to give her assistant the retainer because Sheree didn't want to pay. I mean, Sheree has a history of not paying people, and Sheree shouldn't have been mad because I mean, girl, you have a history of not doing it. Like I didn't understand why Sheree was so angry and it was misdirected. I do agree with Lacey that she should be more angry with Anthony for spreading this gossip, and then for Candy for spreading it even further because Candy is her friend. Like her and Candy are super close, so her anger should be at Candy because Candy is your friend, and Candy, in my opinion, is the main one that should be against spreading rumors since a rumor was spread about her. That
But
she did
wait,
not
but didn't she say at the Lay Archive opening, like, oh yeah, we have the same assistant. I heard some things or something like that. So like she had the opportunity right then to say something to Sheree, and
But she
she
was not
chose
going to
not
ruin
to.
Kenya's event. Like Kenya's, not she was not going to ruin. I mean, Marlo's event. She was not going to. She didn't want to do. I guess she didn't want to. She didn't want to. I guess she may have didn't want to open it up like that and talk about it at this event.
I
And
guess, but
then,
she wanted to ruin baby girl Brooklyn's birthday
I
party. So
mean,
I'm just
but
like,
Kenya said it.
she.
But Kenya set it up. But she set it up. I mean, we play a game called Shade Tea. You asking for somebody to put some shady tea on a car, which did happen. Which it did happen. I mean, King did kind of set it in motion. I mean, um,
You're right. You're right. She did, but she did not need to put that shade on there. That's all I'm saying. She didn't need to write that down. There's other things she could have wrote down.
now what did y'all think about the candy shade? Her sucking dick in the locker room like that. What y'all think?
That was so random. It was funny.
Who y'all think said it?
I think it was Kenya.
Oh wow! Why do you think Kenya did it? What made you think Kenya?
Because I feel like Kenya's always messing with Candy like that. Like I feel like they have like a banter back and forth. I think she thought it was gonna be funny, and that's why she wrote it down. And Candy's so sexual and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I think she's the one who wrote it. To be
What about
honest.
you, Lacey?
I said Sheree, just because her like confessional, she was like,
Ooh,
I don't know.
yeah, her confessions were she been coming for Candy and Egg. Sheree and Marlo. I think it was Marlo because that's kind of like Marlo's style. Marlo likes to say slanderous things.
That does sound like something Marla would say.
She's been saying things about Candy on the show, like about her where she works at. Oh, she works in a bad area. Oh, she, was a sugar mama. So she's things like that. She's saying. So I can see her saying this. I wouldn't be shocked if she did say it. My thing is why she didn't own it. Like if they said it, why they didn't own it? Like I would have owned it. They didn't. Nobody owned it.
Yeah, that's the part I didn't like. It's like somebody should have caught them to it.
Yeah, obviously somebody said it. I would have been looking at the handwriting and being like, because they should know kind of what, I don't know. Maybe they don't know what each other's handwriting looks like, but
But do the math. I mean, they could do the math because Sonya knew she don't know much about Candy like that to really write something like that. And then who else? Drew ain't gonna write Candy. Drew likes Candy, so you only got 3 options. So I mean, I guess you have to do the math. Do the math. But back to the 4th episode, if we see there's a conversation between Ty and Candy. Y'all want to talk about this? Because I skipped that whole scene, but y'all can talk about it if y'all want to.
Oh no, I don't. I'm so tired of these scenes. Like we can gloss over all of it until we get to the Raggedy Townhouse. But I'm just like I can't. Let's move on. I'm sorry.
Because I
agree.
I'm bored. I'm bored with her.
But wait. But can we please? But what's going on in the pool? Like they need to have somebody come and clean that up. Now that's ridiculous. How you gonna
Just
show your house like
lazy
that on
right
television?
there. That's
That's
just
just
lazy.
mm-mm.
And she
And
got
like
all
I
that money.
pay somebody like a couple $100 to straighten that up. Like I don't know. Like it's really ridiculous.
It is, and she got all that money, all that money. But getting to some of the meat of the episode, we see my girl Drew and my fave Ralph go to therapy with their doctor, Dr. Ken. He had this great therapy session, and I feel like Dr. Ken hit the nail on the head with a lot of things he said. What was y'all take on the whole therapy session with Drew and Ralph? What y'all think? Did y'all feel like it was? Did y'all feel like they accomplished anything? Did y'all feel like Dr. Ken was able to help them?
No, this guy is. Where did he get his license from? Like, is he even licensed? This guy is ridiculous. And I heard that he was also Dr. Simone and her husband,
Yes.
Cecil's person. No, absolutely not. This man is ridiculous. Like, he was coming for Drew. He was like, it was giving very much like I'm a pastor in a church and I'm giving relationship advice, like marriage advice. He was
Wow.
ridiculous. I cannot believe that you agree with what this man was saying. Like he was ridiculous. Like, okay, well, you're gonna have to be his maid or whatever. He said he's ridiculous. Oh my god, I did not like that scene. I felt, and I don't like Drew like that, but I felt bad for her because she clearly has no one on her team. And this guy is like, I don't know what it is and why he was doing her like that, like and cutting her off. And it was just so rude. Ugh, it was gross. Sorry.
Lacey, what did you think about that scene?
Um, I, I agree with Tommy again. I'm sorry, Jasper, but like I don't like this doctor. I think that he's like skeezy. Um, I didn't like how like the punishment or whatever, like if you lost was like I mean, he straight up said like you'll have to do whatever like Ralph wants you to do, which, like will probably be like having sex like 5 times a day, like even if she doesn't want to, and all his punishment would like doing chores or whatever, like
Oh
I don't
wow.
it was just gross. And yeah, I thought he was unfair towards Drew. I didn't think that he was like unbiased. I thought that he was being biased toward Ralph.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Um,
Yeah. And
I
he did give off like a pastor vibe, not like a real
what to
therapist
say?
vibe.
What
Come on,
Well, I
Jasper.
disagree. I disagree.
You
I
don't.
enjoyed
Oh
Dr.
wow.
Ken's perspective because he said some things that I said last week, in regards to the whole dinner with Ralph and Drew, and Ralph trying to reaffirm his love to Drew by having this amazing dinner and amazing romance plan. Like what he said was factual that Drew ruined the moment. That Drew needs to learn how to live in the moment and not mess it up because her bringing up negative stuff when this man literally is trying to show you how much he appreciates you and trying to go out of his way to treat you like a queen for the night, and then you want to go and bring up stuff that you know is gonna piss him off, gonna piss you off, and the mood's gonna be changed. Like, why would you do that? Like, who does that? So, Dr. Ken saying that was to me that was the truth because Drew has a hard time just enjoying the moment because it wants to talk about it right then and there. It's like, well, girl, like it's a time and place for everything. And when your man is trying to romance you, your black king is trying to give you
Not
the
a black
time of your
king.
life,
Oh
and
my
you
god.
just want to bring up bull because you're angry right now. Like, no, like it's not him. It's not him just diminishing her feelings in that moment. But there's not the moment to talk about something that you know is going to upset both of you. Like Dr. King hit it on the head for me, in my opinion, when he said that to Drew and Ralph, because that's what she does. She has a pattern of doing that. You
But
know,
if she has a pattern of doing that, then like Ralph should like learn how, like he should figure out a way to like whenever she starts to do that, like a better way for him to react instead of him getting so mad and like just leaving or whatever. Like I guess maybe he leaves so he doesn't get even more mad. I don't know, but then he could come back. Like he doesn't just have to leave and stay gone for like a while, you know, like that's
But he
not
only did that one
right.
time. Like he only did that
No,
one.
she said that after that dinner, he also like went and stayed in their son's room, like, and
But
had
in the
been staying there for
house.
like a, but that's still like, I think that's still like running away kind of and not being with her almost.
I
I
mean,
mean,
but he's mad. So Tommy, you're married. Have you ever been mad at your spouse and then like y'all were upset at each other and you went in one room, went in another room, to cool off? Have y'all ever done that?
for a week, for a
No,
week.
but not a week. I'm saying
That's how
No.
he
not a week,
days.
but like a
He was
day
in there for days.
or a day or two, like a day or two. Have you ever done that, Tommy? Have y'all ever done that where y'all got like had a moment, got upset, and y'all had to cool off? So you went in one kid room and he went in the other kid room, or went to different spaces, not necessarily the children's room, but in different spaces in the house, just to separate, just to cool off, just to take a breather. That's
Yeah,
normal
no,
to
of
do.
course. Yeah, okay. So yes, that has happened. However, he has never left me sitting there in a beautiful gown eating steak and lobster. Like we can have conversations, and the problem is Ralph never creates a space where they're able to have the conversation that she wants to. It's always a pin in it. There's never the end of it. There's never an end to the conversation. She never gets an answer. He's always like they say, like gaslighting her, making her like not believe it, and that's why it always comes back up. So she saw a moment, and I think she brought it up eloquently. She was just like, this is what I want to talk about, whatever. And then he was mad that she brought it up. And a man should have been like, hey, like, you know what, like, let's just like let's talk about it and like hear her out and then still enjoy the night. Like the conversation wasn't a conversation to sour the dinner. So that's why I'm just like, why is he gets so upset because he doesn't want to get called out with the lie. Like he's clearly lying to her about something. I don't know what it is, but he's clearly lying to her. I mean, about many things, and it's like she's never getting answers. So that's why she's always asking questions, regardless of where she is. She's just like, well, I got to ask this question because she's never getting answers. Like he is just evading it all over. Like he is very hard to watch on television. Like he is the worst. Like I can't believe you're calling
Crazy.
him a black king. Like he is the worst.
He's a black king. He's a black king. He is a great husband, an amazing father. I think the way he's played on the show makes him look a certain way because they are editing him to look like a villain. Like he's like a villainized, and it's unfortunate because the producers of the show want to make him be the villain husband because Ty ain't gonna be the villain husband because Ty is not doing enough to giving enough for them to want to make him a villain, and they have a new husband, so he's new to the show. They can't make him be a villain, and I feel like Ralph has been targeted and chose to be the villain because of last season when he went to Florida for the weekend. This narrative was created by the producers of the show and the show itself and the fans. Create this narrative that Ralph must have has done something, cheated on Drew with no proof, no receipts, but a narrative has been created. This man's a cheater. Now fast forward to this season, the man's a cheater. Now he's emotionally abusive to Drew. Now he's gay. Like it's too much. Like it's layered on stuff to make him look crazy, and it's not true, and it's unfair because he didn't do anything to be targeted and made to look like this, like a Mark Daly. Like he's not Mark Daly, but they
No,
give him a Mark Daly edit to make him look like this
but
evil man that hates Drew and don't like his wife. Like he loves Drew, he loves his family. So I just don't like that the way they're trying to portray him on the show.
no.
I don't like
Well,
that.
the problem is that no man is gonna leave you for a week without telling you, without calling you, letting you know where he's at, or any of those things. If he ain't doing something shady, I'm not saying he's cheating. I didn't say that, but he's doing something shady. And even if he wasn't doing something shady. The fact that he left like that for a week when you have children,
For three
like what
days.
are you talking about? Like you okay, 3 days, that's more than one. So I'm just like, why are you leaving like that and out the state? Like what's the point of that? And then you didn't even tell her. Like it's very childish of him. Like I can understand you get upset and you want to leave, but you don't do that when you have a family at home, because when you leave like that means you trying to leave for good. Like that's what I say, because like my husband could never leave for 3 days without telling me where he was, without answering his phone, even if he's mad at me. Like, even if you're mad, like, okay, yeah, okay, take your time. Like, look, I'm out here. I'm about to leave to go X, Y, and Z. And then if he don't want to answer his phone, at least I know where he's at. But she didn't even know where this man was. And the fact that, I don't know, I don't think they need to give him a villain edit because he's giving them all the gold that they need
No, he's
because
not.
the way that he moves.
He's not. That man has not done anything wrong. I just feel like the way the he I feel like he's misunderstood because his sense of humor. Everybody's not going to get his sense of humor. I think that's the problem because he says things and everybody's not getting it. Like, I get it. I understand sense of humor. So I get when he says things where it's coming from, what he's trying to say. But everyone else doesn't get it. A lot of the viewers don't understand, especially the women viewers. They don't get it. So when he says something, to them it's cringe. To them it's, like when he made a comment, I should have just gave her, was it
A Lunchable?
a Lunchable. When he said it, I laughed because I understood what he meant. Because in that moment, he was pissed off, and I know went on my way to give you an extravagant dinner, and you just messed up the whole moment. So yeah, I shouldn't have done nothing for you then. I should just gave you a Lunchable and called it a night because clearly you don't appreciate or didn't appreciate my effort to try to romance you. But the viewers probably took that and made their own narrative like they've been doing. That he's disregarding Jewish feelings. No, he's speaking his truth. And that's how he felt. Because if he didn't say that, then he'd be lying. See, Ralph speaks the truth. Is his truth? And people can't take the truth. But if he lied, then he'll be a liar. But he's telling the truth. He's telling how he felt in the moment. He's very misunderstood. Very misunderstood.
He's telling half truths, and that's the problem.
No, he's telling whole truths. Whole truths.
Okay, see that because you're a stan of Rob and
but I'm a man, so I get it. I'm a man, so I understand men. I understand male lingo. Like when he got the text from the former assistant, and she texted him, with that flirty text about a massage, and he made the comment, "I'm a man." I knew what he was saying because as a man, we don't necessarily take things as something as inappropriate. We'll get a text message and we don't read it as bad. So I got what he was saying because he said I'm a man. I didn't read this as bad, but now I understand because my wife clearly saw it as inappropriate. My friends clearly think that it was inappropriate, but I didn't because I'm a man. I don't think like women think. I don't think that everything if I get a text or a message or a comment or a line that is inappropriate, I'm not reading into it like that. But women, y'all read into everything. So I understand what you're saying, but the world did. They took that and twisted that too. But see, I understand him. I'm a man. I get the lingo. I get his personality. The world is.
Well, my man would never. Let's put it like that. So because he would know his wife would not be comfortable with that. No. So
I mean, but if he got a message, and to him, he don't read it as inappropriate. But if he shows you and you said, this is inappropriate, he'd be like, oh well. I didn't think it was inappropriate because I didn't read into it like that. I saw it, but I didn't look at it as, this is something that may make you mad. Because most men don't. We just don't read into stuff like that. We get a message and we see it, it's okay, they're being nice. We're not looking at it so they flirting or want us. And he didn't read it like that.
Yeah, and I don't think every woman would be doing that either, though. I feel like it's just like specific women that are like will read into it more. There are a lot of women that would just be like, oh, okay, well that was funny. Like, you know what I mean? So, but she wasn't one of them, clearly. Like, she was the one like, no. Like, what does this really mean? But I do have friends that would have been like, oh, that's funny. I don't know why she wouldn't tell you that. Like, because, like, we'll just book the massage. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if it wasn't a thing, she shouldn't have made anything. But she obviously, like, you know how you feel? You know how you feel on the inside.
And like I said, I understand Juice how you felt because she, as his wife, she did feel like that was disrespectful. And to me, it was for the assistant to text her employer, who was her boss, something like that when she knows he's one married man to her boss. So that was definitely inappropriate on her part because she shouldn't have done that because she knew he was a married man. She worked for this man, so for her to do that, it was very inappropriate, and she shouldn't have done that. And I'm glad that he did fire her because she should not have a job working for him or her because she clearly is not trying to do her job. So I'm glad he did fire her. Moving on to the next part of the episode, we get Candy's invitations. sexual invitations via her cousin Patrick and his fiance. What y'all think about the invitations? Y'all think it was funny, or y'all take on the invitation?
I
I
did
know
not know
it
that
was
was her cousin.
appropriate because like a lot of them have children at their home, and like I just didn't think it was appropriate to have them in those outfits in the, do you know what I mean? I don't know,
Mhm.
but I just felt it was inappropriate. There could have been a different way to do it.
What you think, Tommy?
I agree. Don't roll up to my house with that outfit on because I do have children, and poor Sanya, or I can't. I'm still learning how to say her name. She has like her whole family there, like her mom, her dad, her son, her sister. You know what I mean? She has everybody. She has a full
Sure
house, and it's
do.
like, but like I'm assuming that they knew that there was going to be invitations coming. That's why they all answered the doors. But I'm just very confused why she sent her cousin and his girlfriend to do that. Like it was, I didn't know that was them. I guess I missed that. I didn't know that was her
I didn't
cousin
know
and
that was
his
them
Yeah, what's
girlfriend.
Patrick,
either.
honey? You can't look. I want one face I want for you is Patrick. There was Patrick and his fiance, and I was like, "Candy girl, really? You were that cheap? You had your cousin who works for you at OLG, his fiance to go around and dressed up as dominatrix and child to go door to door. I thought it was very tacky, and then two, it didn't tie into her play. Her play is for thoughts of a color man. So, like Kenya said, where's the playbill? Hello, we're going to see your play. Why are you sending us sex stuff? We're not going to a what you call what's her sex line? Candy the
Coded night?
yeah, we're not doing that. Like
Oh, Candy coded. Yeah.
yeah, like bedroom candy. Like it didn't. The connection didn't make sense. You're sending and then like Lacey and you said they have children, and I was thinking like Brooklyn is usually like right by her mom. So what if Brooklyn would have been right behind her mother if she went to the door? Or what if Sonya's children, because she said she has children, and her nephews would have been right with her when she opened her door. They have children. I'm like, Candy girl, like you should have thought logically about this. Like they do have
Right.
kids, and Sonya and Kenya have school age children who still live at home with them. And so you didn't think
And
about that.
Marlo got teenagers, and
Well,
like
Mar-
they could they would have been like, oh, okay. Like, and it has
well,
nothing to
Marlo's not a
do.
mother, so she doesn't count. I don't count Marlo, but she
Well,
does
I'm just
No,
count.
but
saying.
she does have
But she doesn't have,
Yeah,
but she has
those
school age
boys.
boys, but they're a little older, so they're
No,
more
but that's
vulnerable.
still
that's
like that's
why.
So
that's
they
That's
wouldn't they
worse.
wouldn't have been as
very
traumatized
even.
as
Like,
a. But if
No,
I
that's
need to.
worse.
but a 13,
Mm-mm.
14, or 15-year-old would
That's
not be as
worse.
traumatized as a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old.
Yeah,
But
because
they
they're
still don't
horny
need
at
to
that
see it.
age.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's
they wouldn't be that
so
traumatized.
inappropriate. They would just like
But
it could make them spiral into like some weird kink or
oh,
something. Like you never know, Jasper. You never. They could just become a freak. Like
and even Drew with her children, she has school age children.
yes.
So for her to send this to, and then I was just like, Candy girl, what were you thinking? Like, I didn't get the logic, and then it didn't connect with what they're going to do. They're going to see her play. So I would think she would have mailed them a playbill type of invitation, invited them to the play, or some type of dramatic scene where someone's acting out a scene from the play, something like that. Like, why would you? It was tacky. It was tacky, and it was just a team too much with those invitations. Like Marlo's was ghetto and cheap, and Ken's was tacky. Like, come on, y'all. I mean, at least Ken did text everybody. She kept it 100. And I'm gonna text y'all. She kept it cheap, safe, and efficient.
It was
So
a missed opportunity to promote the play and what it could have been about. I think it would have been a good idea to have actors play out like what they were going to go see because this
thank you.
was just kind of like why are they showing up like this? This has nothing to do with the play. And I mean, I don't know what the play is about, but I'm 90% sure it has nothing to do with people wearing that.
Hello. Um, Moving on to the next scene, the cast get meet up at Candy's to board the bus for the trip to New York, to the airport to go to New York. And Kenya gets on the bus and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know it was a couple's trip." What did y'all think about that whole moment? Like, was it awkward?
I don't know what I thought because I feel like One, I feel like she should have figured that the couples were going because Todd was going. Um, I don't think I feel like she overreacted a little bit for me. I didn't think that she needed to be like, oh no, you need to tell me. It's like you wouldn't have gotten a date, so it wasn't gonna matter. Like you're still gonna go, so why are you so upset? So I don't know. I don't think she needed to know. I feel like it was just like everyone was invited. Like I feel like I feel like everyone was invited. So I don't know. It's weird. Just like Marlo's event, everyone was invited. So she didn't say anything about that. I mean, I understand you're going to New York, it's a trip, it's totally different. But I mean, it seems like people have been bringing their significant others often so far in these last four episodes. So I don't know why she was so surprised.
What you think about it, Lacey?
Well, Candy did mention it to her, whatever. Like they asked or something. Like they showed a clip of from Brooklyn's party where I don't know, Sonia, is that her name? Sonia, I think that's her name.
Yes, Sonya. Yes.
Sonia. She asked like if her husband could come, or like if the husbands could come, and Candy said yeah, and like Kenya was right there. But I don't know, maybe she wasn't listening, or maybe it was loud, like, and the microphones just caught it and she didn't hear it in person. Um, but I mean, I think she was just being like Kenya. That's just how Kenya is. She gets upset pretty easily, but I like that in her. She's good TV.
I'm over the couple trips in the sense of like like everybody on the show is not a couple, so it's kind of like it's weird to do a couple trip when you have single people on a trip because because that creates like possible problems because King is an attractive woman, Sheree is an attractive woman, and so when you have attractive women who are single on a trip with men, men who are married with men, like that's a recipe for disaster. We've seen it happen with Kenya and Apollo. Like to me, it's a potential for disaster. So I think they need to kind of just do more like girls trips because the husbands really don't do much anyway on these trips. They kind of in the background anyway. Um, you know, and if they're gonna do a couple strip out there, they need to make it clear, like abundantly clear, the text message, like we bringing our significant other. So you may want to bring a friend, because Kenya probably wouldn't have brought anybody. Then she may have brought one of her gay girlfriends. She brought Lawrence on one of the cash trips. She probably would have brought Brandon. You know, just not her dance partner, but the other Brandon. You know, you know. But as they ride into the to well, they rode to the airport. When they get to New York, and then they ride into Todd's condo that he had shared with his ex girlfriend. He wants Candy to um, um, make their home in New York. What y'all think about that? Do y'all think Candy has a right to be against it and be resistant to taking a home that Todd was with someone else that he probably slept with this woman in, which he probably did. I'm gonna say 100% he did. They slept with her in. They had made love to her.
I think I don't know. I think she's overreacting, but I'm also like, who's paying for this? Because if she's the one paying for it, then I guess she has a lot of say. But I feel like you don't need to really, I guess he doesn't really need to ask, but they do need to agree on it as a married couple. But I'm curious to know, like, did he already start a renovation in that place? Because why does it look like that? Like, I'm confused why it looks like that. There was like a hole in the wall. So is he gonna be able to get it
Yeah.
done? I don't know what's going on there. Like I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's an opportunity, and I think if he's gonna like have it for his daughter, and I'm obviously like his other two children, but I mean he has an older daughter right now that's living in New York. I'm pretty sure she's paying her own bills because I think he made it very clear like he wasn't trying to give her money for stuff because he didn't want her to be like her old Candy's oldest daughter. So I mean, if it's for her, then I'm down. But I'm also down like just to have like a rent out, like an Airbnb situation. Like I think she's overacting, and I think Candy has a little bit of jealousy in her, and maybe he gave her a reason to feel insecure with him having a place, or them quote unquote having a place in Jersey. But there's a reason behind it, because it's kind of like, like, okay, yeah, like, so what? You probably had men all up and through your space before Todd got there, so who cares?
Ooh.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We already, like, oh, did you tell him? Like, oh, did he tell you I get a new bed? Like, I doubt it. So I don't know. I don't think it was right. I think they should take the place. But I mean, if she's paying for it, then that's a whole nother conversation.
Lacey, what do you think about that?
So I was gonna say, like, yeah, since if it's in his name, like, it's his decision what to do with it. But like, if she's gonna pay for like the renovations or whatever, then she does have a say in it. But yeah, and it did look like some kind of renovations had started at some point, because it was like missing some things in the kitchen, and he said that like they had knocked down a wall or something. I don't know, but um they should definitely like fix it up, and at the very least do like an Airbnb type situation, like make some like easy money off of it, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, I understood where King was coming from, because it's like, she know that he shared this place with his ex girlfriend, which means they slept together in this place, which means they were together intimately and all this stuff in this place. So every time she goes there, she's gonna think of that, and it's kind of where it's going. Like every time she thinks of this place, knowing that he shared it with his ex, Candy can't deal with that, and I wouldn't expect anyone to be okay with renovating or reliving someone where their current spouse ex was cohabitating with their ex. So I get Candy's resistance, but I do agree that they could make it like an Airbnb or something and just profit off of it, and Candy won't have to live there, take a shower there, or eat there. Like, she would have to stay there, because I think that's not going to work, because Candy's not going, like, she's not budging on that at all. As they are driving to the condo, Todd shares his, um, uh, what's the word? He was sharing how much he resents Candy for him being basically in the background, and in the world thinking that he doesn't do anything. He was expressing the fact that he feels like, Candy has had her moment, and Candy's always in the spotlight, and she doesn't allow other people to, like, she's not good at, I guess, like, being supportive to him as he wants her to be. Like, he feels like, she is not good at that. What do y'all feel about Tyrus and Candy for kind of, being a success and him not being able to shine equally?
No, that's his fault. Like, because at the end of the day, like, he was a producer, like, on the show, on the show where they met, obviously Housewives of Atlanta. But I'm just like, why are you resenting her for that? Because this is who Candy has always been, right? So you think someone's going to change for you, but that's not the case, especially when you're older. And the fact that she brings him in on all the ventures, it was his idea for the old lady game, and she went along with it. And then they, now, like, it's manifesting. It's a thing. It's dirty, but it's a thing. And you have like, this Blaze. So it's like he has ideas, and I think he's mad because now, like, she's kind of doing her own thing, and he can't find his way maybe without her, that's going to like, kind of bring in as much money when they're doing things together. And I think that's the hiccup that he has. Like, what he's doing isn't going to bring in more money than what she's doing. And I think that's an issue that Todd has, because when they do things together, he doesn't seem to care. But when she has something bigger like this play, now he's like, oh, well, you should have brought me in. It's like, well, no, like, this is what I wanted to do. Like, you do something for yourself. And I agree. Like, wait, we over here trying to have this generational wealth. Like, I'm gonna need you to start doing some things on the side too. So we got like three revenues of income coming in, like my revenue, your revenue, our revenue. Like, he's ridiculous for that.
What you think, Lacey?
Yeah, I I keep agreeing with Tommy, but really I do agree. Like, what has Todd done? Like, I didn't know Todd before he was with Candy and on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, who is Todd? So oh Lord, I don't know. Like, and like that's all I have to say is who is Todd?
Oh, child. I mean, I agree, with everything y'all said because Todd chose to be in the background. Because if y'all remember, Todd chose to quit his job when he was producing Hollywood Divas with Carlos King. He quit that to be with Candy because Candy was mad that he was constantly going back and forth to LA for 6 months at a time to do that gig. And so he chose to be a stay-at-home dad. He chose to be a supportive husband. So you can't now. I feel like he can't now resent Candy, be mad at Candy because he chose the position that he is currently in, and we don't know what he does because all we know is that Candy is the financier of all their projects, which she is. So I mean, him being mad at her, like I feel like it's unfair, and he can't hold Candy to the fire because he's angry that she is doing things and getting the bag because you chose to play the role that you played. And Candy is, is a breadwinner. Like it's not nobody's fault but yours because you could have continued working, you could have continued doing what you were doing, but you chose to, do what Candy wants you to do, but you knew that you really didn't want to do it, and you chose to do it. Now you're bringing it up, and now you're angry and harboring this resentment towards Candy. And I just like, Ty just needs to, grow up. Now I will say one moment in that particular episode that I love was Marlo shading Ty. When Ty said, maybe one day my blow up out the water and Candy would be like, whoa, Ty. And Marlon was like, well, if Ty does blow out the water, then, it'll blow out the water, but not without Candy's money.
Exactly. But
Not
Todd
without Candy's
Marla
money.
is so shady.
doesn't have the follow through. It's been like
Marla
I've
is so
witnessed it
shady.
on
Did y'all like that moment when
I think there's some connection issues, Jasper. Are you
Tommy?
back? Yeah, sorry, there were some connection issues. I couldn't hear you.
no, I couldn't hear
Oh,
you
okay. I
more.
don't know what's going on, but I was saying, what part did y'all hear? The last part did you hear?
Just Marlo, and then it went to outer space.
When Marla was shaking Ty, and Ty was like, Candy, my ish brought the water, and Candy gonna be like, oh, and Marla was like, yeah, Ty, your ish does blow out the water, yeah, it'll blow out the water, but without Candy's money, not without Candy's money. She's like, not without,
Oh, she was right. She was right. She was right.
She was. I laughed. I was like, oh, but Marla shading Candy pretty hard. I'm like, Marla, what's the problem? Like she's been coming for Candy
Marlo.
like her neck. I mean, so they go to the condo. Then the next scene we see them the next day, or not the next day. I think it was the same day. They do the wrong thing and they play the game. Try to play a game where who had the best sex stories. And what you think of the sex stories that were told, and what you think of Kenya's sex story that won her the best room?
They were hilarious, and I thought hers was like crazy. Like, um, if she made that up, she's a great storyteller. Like, it was amazing.
Tommy.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know why they had to do that. Why are we doing this? Why? I don't want to know about other people's wild sex stories. Like I really don't. Especially couples. Like I'd rather hear like single people's crazy sex stories, but I don't want to hear about Drew and Ralph and all these business. I don't want to hear all that. I'm good. So I didn't like it at all. I thought Kenya's obviously was a lie. She's talking about coyotes. Like it was so odd. But I mean, she was gonna get the room anyway because she was probably complaining that like I'm single here, whatever. But it was why do we need that? And I think Todd was the one like when he was going along with it. I was just like, what is happening? It's weird.
I laughed. Yeah, I think Kenya's was a lie because I mean, the story was told so well. I'm like, Kenya girl, now did you? Yeah, but she got the best room, so I ain't mad at her because I would have made up a story too to get the best room. So I ain't mad at her. Get to like the main event. The attack on Ralph.
That was prompted by your friend Kenya. Yes, let's talk about it.
Jasper, are you
Conversation.
there?
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, I don't know what. Okay, can y'all hear me? Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Wherever you
Okay.
at, just stay.
We're at the dinner, the actual dinner with the cast, the rooftop dinner where it became the attack on Ralph. Um, they started discussing certain things, and the conversation went to Drew and Ralph's relationship, and the girls started expressing their opinions on certain things, and it turned from just opinions to let's attack Ralph, let's rip Ralph's head off. In my opinion, what did y'all think about the scene, that particular scene?
I didn't even think they were that bad on Ralph. Honestly, Jasper. Um, I thought they flipped pretty quickly on Drew and were pretty rough on her, in my opinion. But that was
Really,
yes. Hmm.
I don't
Tommy?
know. Um, I thought Drew shouldn't have brought nothing up. Like, I mean, if you're going back to the beginning of what we were speaking about, just her bringing things up at times that things don't need to be brought up. So when they were asking about the wedding rings, I think that's how the conversation got started. And she was like, well, like he slept over there for a week, and then this, and we get to a really dark space. Anytime you say a dark place, it's just like, oh, like I don't want to hear none of this story. This sounds like something you want to keep at home. Don't bring it here to New York. And that prompted everyone to start talking about it. And I think I liked how they saw both sides of it. So it's like they saw, obviously Kenya went in on Ralph, like comparing him to Mark Daly. And then obviously then they were able to flip and be like, but you know how you are sometimes. And I think that's like a good friend group that is able to see both sides of it, especially if both of the people are having the issues. So I thought it was fine, but I don't think it should have been brought up. And I think watch her face, like Kenya going in on Ralph and Drew sitting there, like kind of like reveling in it and loving it until it flipped on her. And then she's like, you can't talk about like when people talk about my husband or something like that. But it was just kind of like, but you let Kenya just go in on your husband because like I wouldn't have let that happen. Like that's something like, look, I can go off on my man, but you can't. Like like I need you just to be quiet. But at the same time, you're bringing up this conversation in public. I'm just saying, you bring this conversation up in public, you're letting everybody speak on it. But I didn't like how Kenya kept trying to talk to him and compare him to Mark because I feel like Mark is definitely a different beast. Even though I don't like Ralph, but Mark Daly is definitely a different type of man. But it was giving girl. I don't know. It was made me uncomfortable. I don't think it should have been talked about.
Thank you for defending Ralph. Thank you for having his back. Yeah, I agree. But I agree. I didn't like the scene, Tommy. I just feel like in my opinion, I felt like it was a lot, like, because it was like I understood she wanted their opinions, but her like what Dr. Ken said, she does not know how to live in the moment. Why would you bring this up? We're on vacation. We're having a good time. You bring it up, and then it goes right to left, and then clearly Ralph was starting to get defensive because you got 5 women coming at one man, and I'm so glad that my boy Ralph restrained himself and had enough composure within himself to not respond, not to react, because he didn't respond to anyone in any way, especially Kenya, because Kenya was really pushing it, and I was like,
You left us again. If you can hear
Yeah,
me.
I can't hear you. I can hear you, Tommy, but I can't hear Jasper.
Same.
Bad.
And you know, okay, Jasper, we didn't hear you again.
Oh, okay. I mean, we got some
Hope
technical
we're
things
gonna
going on.
edit this.
It's gonna, it's gonna be, oh, child. I don't know what's going on. I know we don't have technical glitches tonight. I don't know what glitches when I record. I don't know what's going on. But what I was saying was um, uh, that I didn't, like the fact that Kenya tried to compare him to Mark. I didn't like that because he's not Mark. Mark was an evil man. Like Mark didn't like Kenya. Like it was apparent that he had almost seemingly like he hated her, and like Ralph does not act like that towards Ruth. Drew. Like he does not act like that. He didn't treat her like Mark treated her. So to her to compare him and say you remind me of of Mark, I'm like, girl, no. He does not like him, and I get she said, well, there's certain things that she see in their dynamic, and I understand that, but when you say someone is like someone or reminds you of someone, you're saying it just like that person, and that's not cool. And I think he was very disrespectful to Kenya. I mean, beyond disrespectful. Like he's currently in court trying to get money from her. Like so that whole comparison, I just thought was out of line. And I commend Ralph for holding his composure and not going off on Kenya or any of the other women because you had 5 women going at one man. And he could have went off. And he would have had every right to go off because Drew didn't have his back. And that made me mad too because I'm like, Drew, this your black king. As his queen, you supposed to shut this down and say, hold on. So what we're not gonna do now, y'all gave y'all opinion, but we're not gonna give too much on my man. We're not gonna do that. See, I waited for her to say that and she didn't say nothing. And that made me so mad because had it been reversed and there were men going on Drew and Ralph didn't say anything, Ralph would be looked at as a weak
You cut out for me again, Jasper. I don't know if you can hear him, Tommy, but I cannot.
Same. But he's defending Ralph, and so he's gonna do. Let's get back
well.
to him. Okay, there we go. Okay, you're back, Jasper.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he would have been looked at as a horrible man had he responded, back and snapped on
No,
his.
yeah, you're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right. And people would have been like, "Oh, why are you coming for Kenya?" Da, 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 da. And even when Todd tried to cut in, she was just like, "Let me keep talking." But no,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. I mean, I
So
don't like them, but fact, truth is the truth.
so that scene was a lot for me to take in, and then when Sheree and Drew had that conversation about the assistant, and she brought up the assistant and calling Ralph gay, and then she showed Drew because you said, well, I didn't have any receipts to fire the man for me and my assistant, and she gave Drew her phone and showed Drew the text from her assistant with Ralph and Dennis together, and there was no proof because it didn't indicate anything. Did y'all see something I didn't see?
No, I didn't know what that meant. Because that wasn't them saying that. I guess Sheree said that he had already told her at that point that Ralph was gay. But that wasn't the proof because that wasn't anything about Ralph being gay.
At all. Tommy, did you see that being any proof of Ralph being gay?
Honestly, the whole gay storyline, men being gay in Atlanta, is getting really old to me. So no, I don't think so. I'm just tired of people trying to like use this storyline against the black man in Atlanta because they're in Atlanta and all these other, guys are saying this and the women. It's just it's old, and I don't think it was proof of anything. I don't think he's gay, and if he is, that's his business. And I just feel like, why are we trying to use it to weaponize him? It's just super odd to me.
I just found it to be deplorable, and I feel like Sheree has gone to the gutter because she's trying to keep that peach, and so she is doing everything she can to come up with these slanderous things to come at Drew because Drew has been coming, Drew really hasn't even went in on Sheree. But that's the thing, Drew is not really just went in on her. Sheree is more so trying to go in on Drew. So it's like Sheree, like you're doing the most because your boo can't come and film. So you're trying to keep yourself relevant on the show, which I understand. You're doing your job, but it's giving very desperate very desperate and very thirsty. Um, and they're using Ralph as a storyline. Like all of them is at this point, everyone that has something to say is using Ralph as a storyline. Like he's a part of that storyline in some way. Um,
But I do think that but I do think Drew should have just been quiet. And then she was like, well, I don't like, well, no, he didn't give me any facts. Like, there's no facts showing that. And that's why Sheree brought her phone out to show her, like, look, like, he's sending pictures. Like, he's the mess. Like, I'm not the mess. So that is what I will say. Like, she wanted to see facts. And Sheree was like, no, 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 no. You ain't about to make this seem like I'm the one making this up. Like, here it is. And then you see she didn't say nothing. She was all silent. So what was up with that? Just saying.
yeah. Yeah, this episode was a really good episode. It's gonna get even more messier, more messier.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's gonna get more and more messier. We're going to shift
The Beverly Hills.
to the Beverly Hills girls. So we're gonna move
Beverly
and go to
Hills.
LA.
Yes.
Yeah, so the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes, Team Sutton and Garcelle. Yes.
Ooh, I don't know what team I'm on yet, but I got some thoughts. That's for sure.
Yes.
Are you pulling up your notes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, honey, because
I'm
the
flipping
queen,
pages.
honey, the queen, honey, Miss Erica Jane, honey, the queen bee. It's my girl. I live for Miss Erica Jane. She just, child. This is yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, episode two, because so first of all, when we get to episode two, before we start talking about episode two, what were y'all thoughts on the premiere episode? Quickly, like what were y'all thoughts on the first episode?
It was good. The robbery thing was crazy. I still feel like I feel really bad for Dorit. Like it's crazy. Like but her kids are cute. But yeah.
Okay. What about you, Tommy?
I don't know. I love some.
I thought the premiere episode was it was sad. Like the whole situation just sad.
I mean, I'm ready for this season, I guess. I mean, the first episode, it was shocking, and I have thoughts about everything, but I'll keep them to myself. But it's definitely doing its job. Hopefully we're going to be moving on past the Dorit robbery and getting on to some other things, and so hopefully it'll be better.
I hope so. I hope that Kyle lets go of like Sutton not being like as upset as she wanted her to be about the break-in. Like I don't know. It just seemed really weird to me that Kyle was like, well, why aren't you more upset? And I mean, Sutton, I mean, yeah, what she said was like inappropriate or whatever. But still, I mean, what should she be crying too? Like, it was just kind of crazy to me.
I agree. I feel like Kyle was definitely a dog with a bone, and Dorit had moved on, forgave the woman, and that was it. And Sutton gave the reason why she reacted with that she did. Like she's uncomfortable about anything about guns, the way that like talking about it, and that's why she didn't. And then she explained why she didn't go to the house because what happened with her father. She was like, like I didn't want people at my house, like because then I have to be on, and she didn't want to be on. So that's what she thought she was doing her a favor. And I think if Dorit was able to move on, Kyle should have been able to move on.
Mm-mm,
But Kyle was
mm-mm.
just like sitting there, like, and then Garcelle had to bring it back up, and which I understand, like both sides of that coin, because it was just like, okay, y'all was talking about Sutton, she's here now. However, Sutton and Dorit squashed it, so I don't think it needed to be brought back up at the house. But I know why she did it. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, like
I
Dorit was fine, Kyle move on.
want it back up.
But we can move on from the premiere episode because, like I said, it was very sad episode. But I Sutton pissed me off because she was very insensitive to the Reed situation, and as old as she is, she know better because if the situation was reversed and there was someone in Sutton's family that was robbed and held at gunpoint, and Kyle, Garcelle, or Erica were to respond the way that she responded to the situation, she'd be ready to take their head off, and they would rip apart all over the social media for being horrible people.
Well,
So
Sutton did experience a robbery when she was
I don't.
a
That don't
teenager,
mean anything.
and her
That don't.
dad killed himself with like blew his brains
That,
out.
and so
Like,
and
and
okay.
so like just the like talking about and thinking about that is a trigger for her, and it's just she didn't know what to say, and she just said
No
something weird like she
excuse.
always says, and she apologized, and Dorit understood and
Yeah,
forgave her.
it was half apology, and it
No,
still was
it
no
was a true
accountability. No,
apology.
it's not. It was half
A true
apology, and there's no excuse because out of everyone, by her experiencing something like that happened to her father, she should have been the most sympathetic and the most sensitive to the situation. So you saying that only further proves my point that she was insensitive and should have been the most sensitive.
No, I'm just saying the way that
Yes,
what she said,
she
she
should have been
didn't
the most
mean it that way.
sensitive. She should have been the most
So she
sensitive.
should have
She
been
was
crying
something.
for Dorit. So
She
you're
she
telling
should have
me
been
how
she should have been more sensitive,
she
and
should have felt.
she should have felt bad, and her response should have been,
She
"Oh
did
my
feel
gosh."
bad, but she just
No,
didn't.
she did not. She literally said,
She
"Oh well,
didn't.
I didn't get a gun put to my head today. Oh well, my stylist couldn't get over here from whatever country they in because they didn't have a visa." Like totally like
Well, her
disregarding
life was still
what
going
Kyle
on.
just said.
Her life was still going on, even though Dorit's like was paused at the
That
moment.
doesn't mean
She still had a
that
business
doesn't
to
mean
run and
anything. This is
money
someone
to
you
make.
work with.
It is what it is. It's life, and
That's
like, what was she supposed
no,
to
it's
like
not
cry?
life.
Kyle wanted her to cry over someone that
No,
she
Kyle
doesn't
wanted
even
her to
know.
show some empathy. Kyle
She
wanted her to
did.
show she's
She was
human.
like, "It's
She
awful."
denied. She literally no, she denied. She literally disregarded what Kyle says. If Kyle did not just say that this woman who you work with, your castmate, and someone you call a quote unquote friend, just had a gun put to their head. Their children were in the home sleep, and she could have died. And all the Reed said was something which was very stupid. Oh well, I didn't get a gun put to my head today. Oh well, my stars can get over here can get over here from wherever country because their visa didn't come in. Like literally, like that, that didn't even make sense to bring up when you just literally told your castmate could have died. Your castmate was robbed at gunpoint. Like there's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for her insensitivity because if that was Erica, you would have none for her. You would not want to hear anything she had to say to excuse her behavior if she was that dismissive. Like the world beat her up about her quote unquote being dismissive of the burn victims. I need the same energy given to Sutton. The same energy should be given to her because you're not being dismissive like that to someone who experienced somewhat of almost a tragedy because that could have really went bad. She could have died. Her kids could have walked in and saw their mother dead. Like Sutton ain't that dumb. Yes, she maybe did see when she did see at times, but she's not that dumb, and she's not that did see. She knows right from wrong. She's old enough. She's like probably the oldest one on the show. Like, come on now. So I was glad Kyle held us to the fire
No, that's
because
Lisa Renna's.
No. I think the problem is that just like people didn't like how Dorit responded, like how she acted, like how she went to Kyle's house after after she got robbed, after she left her, then she left her children in a hotel room, and then her man met her there at Kyle's house. Like people had thoughts about that, and that they don't think that she moved the right way if she had a gun held to her head, right? If that's allegedly what happened to her, that's what people are saying. But now, but since Sutton's not reacting the way that people should expect to react, how other people are, like that's not the case. Like Sutton said why she acted that way, and she probably was just like, look, like, you're gonna get over it one day. Like, and I'm not going to sit here and sulk in it because, like, and they're not even close. So I don't understand why Kyle was like so mad and she had to go spread and tell.
I can't hear Tommy. Can you hear Tommy, Jasper?
Tommy muted herself. What happened, Tommy?
Oh, you guys couldn't hear me that whole time?
No, you were muted.
You didn't hear anything that I said?
No.
After that, it stopped. It like literally stopped.
Oh, because I thought I was done speaking. That's why. I was
No,
like, that was it.
you were still talking. You could cut it. It cut out because I guess you were what you were saying was not relevant to the plan. But
Oh, child.
yeah. So we're going into the second episode of the season. We're gonna talk about the second episode. Uh, Let me get my notes together. Let me get my notes. The season. Um, yeah. So if we see that we see Sutton and Crystal's real friendship. What y'all think? What do y'all think about Sutton and Crystal's friendship? What do y'all think about that,
I like it.
Tommy?
I like the relationship. I think it's cute. It's blossoming. They went to a Dodger game together. Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I
Yes,
just
we
wanted
can
to
hear
make
you
sure.
good.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so they went to a Dodger game together. I liked it. I like the relationship. I think it's an odd pairing, but I like it.
Yeah, it's very odd, very different pairing, but yeah, it's very odd. We see Doree and PK, deal with the aftermath of everything. Like, do y'all what are y'all feelings about everything like post the robbery with Doree and her husband and them trying to forget, working through it, and we see like Doree is really having a hard time, like really having a hard time, processing everything. What were your thoughts on that?
I think it's sad. I think it's a lot that she's doing that on camera, like in like the previews for like next week or I don't know, upcoming episodes. Like she's very emotional. Like it's a lot. I don't think she's acting because I don't think she can act it like that. So it's
Oh,
real.
shade,
It's crazy. Like that she's showing that emotion on the show.
Tommy.
I thought it was shady of Kyle to share that message. I will say that. I don't think that Kyle should have played that on the show. What's going on with Dorit? I mean, she's brave,
Yeah,
I guess, doing what she has to do on camera. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like she's gonna have a long journey.
I agree. Definitely a long journey. We also see that Miss Lisa is not here for, is not really here for it's not here for Sutton. So like Sutton made a comment on Watch What Happen Live saying that, about the event that she hit, the event that they were at, that uh Lisa didn't thank her because she basically said that she would, like, I guess, help Lisa, you know, and her husband, like, made sure that they were. She Sutton,
Well,
just
I mean, listen, the thing is, like, even though Rena tried to say that the table was canceled and all of this, like, there's actual photographs from that night to where, like, they're at Sutton's table, like, and Sutton also showed the receipt, like, where she bought it or whatever. So, I, I mean, and the example she was giving was defending her friend Garcelle. So I don't think she's wrong at all. I think Rena is so annoying. She just gets on my damn nerves. I can't stand her.
oh wow, Tommy, what you think?
Yeah, I think Rena shouldn't have brought it up at the table. And then she tried to cover it up when the girl Diana was like, "Oh, it's so tacky to even talk about this." She was like, "It is tacky." Like, but you're the one who brought it up, Rena. Like, what are you talking about? And she wanted the receipts, and I think it was like just it wasn't to say like anything shady. It was just more so to say like, "Hey, like you didn't say thank you for me." Like, and I don't know. That's why she was just like sticking up for her friend Garcelle in the moment, and Rena didn't like it because she was like got called out.
Child, Sutton is trying to, she's trying to keep that diamond. So she is
I
like
think
getting to with
Rena's
everyone,
trying. Rena's
and
reaching. That's what it
she's
is. She's
and
always.
so and and so she's coming for Lisa because Lisa, is a mainstay on the show. So she's trying to, have a moment with everyone. First with Erica, then her thing with the Reed. Now she's into it with Lisa. Like she's like going down the aisle, and then her and Kyle. So like she's like trying to stay on the show, and I get it. But I mean, she was being messy because she didn't have to even say it on Why We're Having Live. Like, why would you say that? And then with Sudden, she'll say things, and then when she's confronted, she shuts down almost. Like, girl, you have to, you can't say stuff, but then when confronted, you don't want to. You act like you didn't say it, or you like turn to like a little girl. Like I don't like that because you said it, and we see you said it. I need you to have the same energy that you had when you were saying it, and I wasn't there when I'm there in your face. So Sudden is like very inconsistent with that to me a lot of times. But I mean, she was help. Y'all think she was, defending her friend Garcia, I guess. But she came for the wrong one because Lisa is not that girl, you know.
I think Lisa came for the wrong one because Sutton is not that
No.
girl. Yeah.
It's-
She had those receipts. I mean, she's
and
too
Mich-
lukewarm. She don't know how to go in all the way hot. That's the problem with Sutton. Like she could be such a more top tier housewife, but she just keeps like coming in too lukewarm. It's like if you're gonna go there, go all the way there. Like don't tiptoe and then tip back out. Like that's what she's lacking.
Cause she weak. That she's weak in that aspect. Like she just does not know how to give it. And so you can't come and go at it and go toe to toe with a beast like Lisa because Lisa will give it.
Well,
You
all
may
the
not
other
like her, but
ladies
she'll
love
give
to
it.
interject. Like they just love to interject.
You said what, Lacey?
I said all the other ladies just love to like jump in and interject, and like people can't get their word, like a word in. Honestly, on Beverly Hills, that's why it's annoying.
Going back to something that I did, something I wanted to ask you about. Erica versus Sutton. Erica and Sutton, um, their relationship is still where it's at. And Garcia is trying to broker peace with these ladies. Do you think Garcia should be trying to be a peacemaker between Erica and Sutton, or should she leave it alone?
I think she should leave it alone. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, honestly. I mean, I just don't think it's gonna happen.
What do
I
you think,
agree. Leave it
Tommy?
alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Ooh,
Leave
leave it
me
alone.
alone.
Yes, leave it alone. Mm-mm. Yes, because I mean, like they're not gonna be friends. They're just not. It's not gonna be what it's going. What it needs, what they want it to be. They're just not. Um, Going to the third episode, we see Sutton does apologize to the Reed. Do y'all think the apology was genuine, or do you think or do you think it was? She said it just so she can get over the issue with the Reed.
I think it was genuine.
Tommy. Tommy, you think it was genuine?
I think it was. I really do. I think it was genuine.
Mm. I think it was half ass. I don't think it was fully genuine. I think she just said it, in my opinion, just to move forward because she didn't want to have drama with Dorit. So she was like, "Let me say I'm sorry, so we can move past it." And I like the fact that I like the fact that Kyle, pressed Sutton and made Sutton have to cop to what she did that was wrong because Sutton was not seeing the problem. So Kyle pressing her was needed because I mean Sutton needs to realize like what you said was offensive, like it was out of line. So but she apologized to the Reed, and then Kyle opened up her store, her store again. What did you think about her reopening her store?
Everything looked like pajamas.
Oh
I
my
did
god.
think it was funny that Diana said that she would wear that stuff to her house. So I thought that was funny. Oops.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Tommy.
liked it. I thought the store was really beautiful. Oh, I'm so sorry, my child woke up. But I thought that it was really beautiful. Her store was nice. I didn't like seeing Teddy Bear, and I thought it was interesting that Diana has never been to a store, that she didn't know about the outlets, and those outlets are amazing. They're probably one of the better ones um, out here. So I was just like, "What? You never been to Amazon? Like that's one of the best outlets." So and she was just like, "What's that? Like, what are you talking about?" So I thought it was a fun thing.
Do y'all like Diana? What are your thoughts on the new housewife? Because we did get introduced to Diana finally.
Mm, I don't know. I sometimes I like her, but then sometimes I don't. Um,
Ooh.
I'm just not sure on her yet.
Tommy.
I like Diane. I think I like her. I don't know yet. I'm waiting to see more about her. She's really beautiful. I didn't know how beautiful she was until she got in her confessional, and I was just like, "Oh, okay. Like, wow. Like, she's a gorgeous woman. I like her. I want to see what she's gonna bring to the table."
Um, her accent, like I can't take much of that. Like,
What?
I,
Oh no. Uh-uh.
I barely can understand her. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to suffer through a whole season of her
That's
talking.
what I like about her is her accent.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
How
like
she
the
said
no,
accent.
coziness. She said like
no.
like I don't know how she said coziness the other night in the episode, but the way that she said it was like so funny. I liked that.
No, God.
A roadie. She didn't know what a roadie was. Like I like her accent. I think it's beautiful. I think that's another beautiful thing about her.
No.
Um,
Mm-mm.
what?
No. I, I hate people that I have that I can't understand. That I'm frustrated when they're talking. That I can't understand them. Like I don't like that. So, but she's pretty.
Well, put on the closed captions then. You'll be
Oh
fine.
wow, wow. um, moving to the dinner. The dinner they had a dinner and it got very tense. What did y'all think about Crystal's whole almost breakdown? Like Crystal got very upset and like kind of just shut down. Like I was thrown off by that. Like I was like, where is this coming from?
It made sense to me what she was saying though, how like um they were kind of policing or like trying to tell people how to feel. So yeah.
What about you,
Yeah, I
Tommy?
thought it was fine. I thought she had a good point. I think she had a point to make. She wasn't trying to compare it to her actual situation. She was just trying to compare, like, this is how she felt, and like how you can't tell people how they feel. And that's how
We
what
can
she was
hear
saying. Well, she didn't like it. I mean, I don't. And then another thing, and then Kyle was like, "Oh, you're a millennial. Like, what are you talking about?" Like, Kyle wasn't understanding. Like, and it was very much like very relatable to the situation when they were coming at Sutton. So I thought it was weird that they ganged up on her like that.
I did too. I agree, Tommy.
I also liked how Diana said that I'm her bodyguard. I gotta go. Like they came together, they left together, and that's what I was like. Okay, I think I could like Diana.
I did like that too.
I just felt like Crystal was looking for a moment. I mean, girl, like nobody was like, trying to tell people how they should feel, but they are going to they're holding someone accountable for their insensitivity. So I just feel like Crystal was doing it for a moment, like girl. And then she wouldn't even explain herself. You did all this hoopla, but then now you want to explain what the problem is or who you have an issue with. Like that was to me that was stupid.
I
It was
thought
like
she, I thought she explained it perfectly.
no, she did not. She was like, I won't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. That's not explaining it. If you telling me you don't want to talk about it anymore, you're not explaining yourself. You're shutting down. You don't want, she literally like disengaged from a conversation that she started, and everybody was rallying around her. Um, I love how my girl Erica shut the sudden conversation down real quick. She shut it down so effortlessly. Her and Sonny had me cracking
Her
up
and
because they were
that
back and
snake friend,
forth.
he looked like a snake. Her
No, she looked
snake friend.
beautiful. I love her and Son's back and forth.
Oh,
Do
that
you
was
Um,
think
funny.
Do you think she's playing Mikey day by day, or do you think he's just doing her a favor?
I have no clue.
she's not paying any woman because
Like
she's don't have
that.
to, honey. She's fabulous. Charming. If she
Yes.
could pay you to be her assistant, she could pay you to be her assistant.
You know she ain't got no money. I said cash
I'm
only, Erica.
She has money, honey. She has funds. Oh, trust me, believe. She's a queen, honey. So she has the funds. Um. So what? So do y'all? What are y'all looking forward to this season? Like so far, what are y'all looking forward to? In the upcoming episodes with these
Ooh,
ladies.
forward to Cherie coming on. I'm really curious to see how she interacts with everyone. Garcelle's friend. So I'm really excited to see her. I don't really care about nothing else, honestly, because I'm just waiting for the moment
Okay.
up on my screen with her beautiful face and her beautiful fashions. And I really hope that she's going to be ironing the girls out all season and just going to be on the show next year. Like, I really hope she shows up.
Child, don't get your hopes up, honey. She for her to come with that and fall flat and fail. But she does have more personality than Garcelle does, so I think she may actually, snatch Garcelle's diamond because Garcelle's just there. She's not memorable. Like I literally forgot Garcelle was even on the episode, and
Oh,
that's bad.
wow. That was rude. Uh,
It's true. It's
I
true.
thought Garcelle, I remember her in a lot of the episode.
Oh, girl,
I remember her
girl,
a lot in it.
you the only one.
No, I'm not. Uh, I'm looking forward to seeing like what happens in Aspen or whatever, like and whatever falling out that is. I do think Cherie could actually maybe take Erica's diamond because Erica's gonna be like poorer
No,
than
she
she is
not. We
already,
tried it.
and she's not gonna be like wealthy enough to be a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills. Like
We
I don't
tried it, honey.
like
We
I
tried
don't I
it.
want my Real Housewife of Beverly Hills to be like rich, not like poor.
Broke rich. That's
Yeah.
what she's giving. Broke rich.
Garcelle's broke rich, so Garcelle's
Nuh-uh.
broke rich.
Garcelle
Yeah,
is
'cause she's not rich
not.
rich. She's
Garcelle,
not rich. So
Garcelle is
yeah.
rich.
No, she's not.
Erica's poor, and she owes
Oh,
money
no, she's
because
not.
she stole all this money and she spent it shopping. She
She didn't.
spent
She
all
didn't
this
owe anyone.
money shopping and
She
traveling,
did.
and buying
She
expensive dinners and
she
wine.
didn't anyone. She's the only one. So anyway, but anyway,
And then
this
next episode, she says um, that she believes that those people actually did receive their money and that they're lying.
they probably are. But
Oh,
Oh,
anyway.
wow.
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 It's proven that they have not received their fucking money back.
Yeah. Yes, Team Erica, honey, yes,
Wow. Team
yes.
honesty, team widows and orphans and burn victims. David
Bye.
settlement funds.
Bye.
Erica needs to sell all her Oh wow.
It was so fun having you guys on here tonight. Uh, Lacey and Tommy, you guys were awesome. We have to do this again because you guys are so funny, and it was fun breaking down these episodes of our favorite shows. It was so fun.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for having me
You-
on the show.
You're welcome. And on that note, world, we're going to sign off. Y'all have a great Friday evening.
Thank you. Can't wait to do it again. Thanks, Jasper.
Yes.
Hey, thank
Bye.
you. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Bye.